Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 15th through the 28th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and I brought Andy in here today.
Happy Memorial Day,
That's
people.
Right. It's Memorial Day. We're just out here having a cookout. Decided to have a podcast.
Memorial Day weekend. We are just chilling in here. And got our shorts and tank tops on, just feeling the American pride, baby.
American pride. Yeah, you got to break out the guns on America Day.
I know, man.
Any day associated with America.
We don't. The only thing is, we don't have the glizzies lined up in front of us, as the kids would say these days.
Oh God. I hate that term.
I do. I fucking
hate that term.
Give me a hamburger or ribs and leave me alone.
The hell up out of here. But guys, before we get into this case today, a very popular documentary on Netflix. I got to remind you that you can catch these episodes early and ad-free on Patreon, patreon.com/truecrimeguys. It's the best way to support the show. We appreciate that very much, guys. Where for just $3 a month, like I said, you can get these episodes early, ad-free, with bonus content. But today, we are talking about the Netflix documentary, The Crash.
The Crash.
The Crash, Andy.
Like there's two movies called Crash. Very different movies, Michael. So it's like, I love how this one actually puts "the" in front of it to really differentiate.
Well, it's a documentary, not a movie, so you know.
Listen, if you haven't seen Crash or Crash, you're missing out. Okay?
No doubt. But this one happened on July 31st, 2022. It was a car crash in Ohio that left two young teenage boys dead and a teenage girl as the sole survivor. It at first appeared to be a tragic high-speed accident, but it soon became one of the most controversial true crime cases we've seen in a while, Andy. Mm-hmm. And it's the case of Mackenzie Shirilla. Years later, the case is reignited now because of the Netflix documentary The Crash, which brought new attention to not only the evidence, but also the victims and the unanswered questions in regards to what truly happened that night. I mean, we still don't know.
Yeah.
Still don't know.
It's still a mystery, Michael.
Oh, but we got a lot of information, Andy.
Oh, that's the best kind.
We got a lot.
Can we speculate?
Oh, we're going to speculate the hell out of it.
Oh, thank you, Michael. I love speculating.
Well, let's kick it, man. This is Hell on Wheels.
I don't know. This is something I never in a million years thought we'd be having to deal with or go through, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would be the one to just get, fucked up and, not like that, get fucked over.
It's not your fault. Not your fault.
I know, but it would be, everyone would try to make it seem like that and would try to make me go to jail my whole life.
Just got wrapped up with the wrong family, really.
Yeah, it's this family, they suck. Bad as fuck. I don't like them.
No.
They're weird as fuck,
Yep. Terrible people, I know.
Interesting. I love how they just, like to leave out, little bits of information,
Sure, of course. Yep. Because it doesn't fit their narrative. Kathy, everybody knows. Okay?
And, yeah, I speed. Everybody speeds, though. Everybody speeds. I don't understand, they're making it seem like they don't speed.
That's how Davion drove. That's only how Davion drove. So excuse me.
He was a car boy.
I know. Whatever the next step is, though, Kenzie, you are going to be okay, right? Well, check you out. You survived juvie. You're surviving county, right? So whatever happens next,
Truth will set me free.
You got it.
Fuck. That's what you need to change it to.
If they ain't hating, you doing something wrong?
If they aren't hating, you doing something wrong, and then do hashtag free Kenzie.
Okay.
Don't forget, do it right now, because I don't want you to make it so stupid shit on accident, accidentally missaying what I try to say.
If you ain't hating, you're doing something wrong?
Yes. If they ain't hating, you doing something wrong.
Well, I'll do it in a minute. My hands are kind of gross because I'm making a smoothie. I know what I hear you say that all the time, though. I'm trying to get some nutrients in my system.
And please don't forget to change my Instagram bio. Try to get into that one Instagram account and change my name to that other.
If they ain't hating,
you're doing something wrong.
You're doing something wrong. Okay, Mackenzie, that may look bad right now. Okay, I'll put Free Kenzie on there, but that's going to look bad.
All right, do hashtag Free Kenzie, hashtag innocent.
There
hashtag,
you go.
Hashtag, just do all the hashtags in that bitch and delete my bio. Just do the hashtags in my bio. But I love you so much, Mom. I'm going to call you again in a little bit after.
You want me to leave John's GoFundMe on it?
No.
So let's start with the morning of July 31st, 2022. An officer responds to a car crash so violent that the car was squished to almost half the size.
Okay, yeah, I've seen these before.
There were 3 teenagers inside the car, 17-year-old Mackenzie Shirilla, her boyfriend, 20-year-old Dominic Russo, and his friend, 19-year-old Davion Flanagan.
I mean, I see a red flag already, but let's continue.
The officer... The officer ran to the driver's side and saw a young woman trapped under the dashboard. Then on the passenger side, he found Davion severely injured and unresponsive. Dominic was pinned underneath him in the passenger seat. Both had devastating injuries. At first, the officer truly thought that all 3 of them were DOA.
Oh, yeah. When you see a car that's been crushed to half its size.
Exactly. Not only that, he could tell that the crash did not just happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The engine's not hot. There's no smoke. Everything's settled.
Yeah. He's not still hearing the clicking. Yeah.
No, he knows that this is, it's been a few hours at least. But while firefighters were cutting the teenagers out of the car, they heard mumbling from inside. And Mackenzie was disoriented, but she was somehow still conscious, still alive. But she was very badly injured. And one of the first things she asks strangely, how is Davion?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's not so much strange, but I mean, like...
Why wouldn't you ask about your boyfriend of 4 years? Dominic.
Yeah. Ooh, now you're adding
don't forget about Dominic.
Now you're adding some mystery here, Michael.
Right? A lot of people glaze over this. They just put this fact out there and then they don't talk about it. But that's one good thing about our show. We're going to do that, right?
Ooh.
So she says, "Where is Davion?" How is Davion? I think it's almost like you didn't care about Dominic. Maybe she just was so oblivious that she thought the crash would only kill Dominic. Maybe. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Yeah. All right. Two medical helicopters were called to the scene, but Davion and Dominic both passed away before they got there. So let's break down what happened.
This not to derail. It reminds me of my driver's ed teacher told me of his a story that he went through where he was driving with some friends and they had such a bad accident that the car got crushed to half its size, but because it rolled so many times. And when the police showed up, they thought they had found everybody because they were like, well, there was the driver and the passenger and we think we're good, right? And when the driver woke up, they were like, no, there was a guy in the back seat. And they're like, what do you mean? They couldn't find him. And then they went around and the car was so crushed that somebody had to crawl inside the car because they thought he had gotten slung out and thrown somewhere and they hadn't found his body yet.
Yeah.
They crawled inside the car and realized that he had fallen down under the seats and was snaked under the two, the front passenger seat and the back seat. And they didn't know he was in there. So it was the car was half its size and this guy was trapped inside there, my driver's ed teacher. So yeah, it just made me think about that when I first read this timeline and stuff. And I was like,
he was the guy trapped inside there?
Yeah, he was the guy trapped inside. He said he woke up. He woke up to one of his friends who was in the car with him, his face was over him and it was really red and purple as he was straining. And apparently his friend was a college linebacker or something like that for the college they went to. And his friend had crawled inside the car and had gotten into a squat position and was literally putting his back against the roof of the car and squatting with his legs to uncompress the car.
Right.
So they could get him out. Like, he was using his body as the jaws of life.
Right.
Like, you know what kind of farm boy strength you gotta have to uncompress a Volkswagen?
Right. Yeah, seriously.
Like, Jesus Christ, Brock Lesnar.
It's a good friend to have.
Right?
Jesus. But no, but this crash was devastating. It was. And it didn't happen on a neighborhood street. It was a commercial business park, actually, in Strongsville, Ohio, which was mostly empty at the hour that the crash occurred. And the road was called Progress Drive. It's basically one long stretch of road that ends in a T intersection, right? You can't go straight anymore. You're going to run right into this freaking commercial business, which is exactly what happened. So the road itself is rough and uneven. The officer said that when he was rushing to the scene, he was going 54 miles per hour, and he felt unsafe. He felt like it was kind of he could lose control of the car even at 54. He said he couldn't go any faster than that.
Oh my God, what is this? South Carolina roads?
Yeah, right.
Zing! Local. Burn!
North Carolina, high five. But surveillance video showed Mackenzie driving normally down Pearl Road, which is connected to Progress Drive. And then as soon as she turns on to Progress, you can just see the car accelerate. Now, there's security cam footage, CCTV footage, traffic footage, whatever. And when she makes that, she even puts on her turn signal to turn, all nice and safe. And then when she gets on that straightaway, gone.
Fucking nos.
Straight up
Fast and
SpongeBob.
Furious. Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious. Hell on wheels, boy. But the Camry reached around 100 miles per hour.
You know what? That's a sale for Camry right there. I did not know a Camry could even do that. Let's just continue.
When's the last time you drove a Camry?
When's the last time a Camry was ever clocked at 100 miles an hour?
Bro, every day on 85, bro. These new Camrys are sick. What are you talking about?
Okay, new Camrys. Maybe I'm just old.
You're thinking of a Corolla. Don't you short a nice Camry. Camrys are saints. No, but that Camry reached around 100 miles per hour on that stretch of road as it was going straight towards the T intersection. And she never hit the brakes, not once. Mackenzie was driving, never hit the brakes once. The car went over the curb and slammed straight into the brick wall at the end of the road. Now, of course, like most new vehicles, this Toyota Camry had an event data recorder, right? The car's black box. You hear about it in police shows and stuff.
Yeah, like planes have. Like the planes have like the black box,
exactly.
which like records every bit of information, every
bit
travel
of every
log.
button that was pressed, every acceleration, every altitude change. Yeah,
everything that the computer registers is logged on that black box.
Exactly. So this is one of the biggest pieces of evidence in the entire case. Right? The data showed that the gas pedal was completely pushed down 100%.
Damn.
And at the exact same time, there was never any brake usage. Yeah, brake was never touched.
I mean, you can also see there's no skid marks. There's no
skid marks.
Yeah.
The officers at the scene could barely see the trail that they took to hit the building.
Yeah.
I watched all this footage is on YouTube, guys. I've linked it in the sources as well. You can watch this raw body cam footage of the first officer arriving on the scene. Mm-hmm. And at one point he looks around and he's like, "Can you guys see the trail that they took here?" Like they probably glided over the grass. They were moving so fast.
Yeah. Like literally hardly even bent the grass.
If you looked at certain angles, you could kind of see where the two tracks went. But typically when someone wrecks like this, you see them losing control once they get off the asphalt, right? You see some dirt slung up.
The tires have stopped spinning because they just hit the brakes so hard.
Right, which would have ripped up ground and it would have been very obvious. But there was nothing in this situation. The black box also recorded some really strange movements right before the collision. The steering wheel was suddenly jerked to the right, and the car shifted back and forth between drive and neutral a couple times.
And if just from a outside perspective, that sounds like those could be things that were done by a passenger. Jerking to the right in an American car, that means the passenger has jerked the wheel. If the gear shift goes from neutral, if it's an automatic car, goes from neutral to drive, that could be the passenger trying to get you into park or get you stop or something like that. So that's just speculating.
Somebody was messing with it, and why would she be doing it? Who knows, right? The defense argued that this displayed panic and chaos in the vehicle, but prosecutors and the Netflix documentary, The Crash, both were highly in favor. They argued that the sudden movements could mean that Dominic, Davion both realized what was happening. And like Andy said, they tried to grab the wheel, right? They were trying to be defensive in some way. Now, the top question is, were they trying to take control of the car because Mackenzie was impaired?
Yes.
Right? Did she black out?
Was she having a medical issue?
Was she having a medical? Exactly. Or were they trying to take control in self-defense?
Yes, because they saw that she had now gotten a mentality of she was trying to hurt them.
Right.
I think about this in a silly thing. One time when I first had my first car, I remember driving with one of my best friends. We're driving, going somewhere, and I flung my hand up to like change the volume or something, and I hit the shifter.
Not you, Andy.
And I hit the shifter, and it knocked it into neutral. And we were going up a hill at the time. So if you know what that sounds like, and you're just hitting your accelerator and your transmission's just running up the hill. And you're
losing momentum.
And just two 16-year-olds pissing their pants, being like, "What happened?"
Damn, dude.
But yeah, just like immediately hitting that car into neutral and just being like, just hearing that engine just
Yep.
being like, oh my God, I'm not going anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a scary thing, but it'd be great if you're trying to slow down the car.
Yeah, if you're trying to stop someone, if you're trying to stop them from accelerating.
But unfortunately, this road was flat, so,
Yeah, it's not, there's nothing really to get in the way or slow the momentum down.
No, not really.
With the new MyLowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
So, like we were talking about earlier, was Mackenzie impaired somehow? So naturally, the first thing we're going to look to is toxicology reports, right? Mm-hmm. She had not been drinking before the crash. She did have some THC in her system, and police found other drugs and paraphernalia inside the car, including marijuana, mushrooms, a bong, and a digital scale.
I mean, who doesn't have that in their car?
I mean, it sounds like a starter pack.
I mean,
you're terrible. But she did not test positive for psilocybin. Right? Because that was another thing. Well, maybe somebody was like, whoa, if there was mushrooms in the car, maybe she was tripping, Mm-hmm. Also, still, even on mushrooms, I've never known somebody to want to drive 100 miles an hour. That is the opposite of a mushrooms experience.
I have never been on mushrooms and been like, we should go for a drive.
No.
Like, give me the keys.
No.
Never been on.
Not at all. But she did not have any psilocybin in her system. And which, if you're not familiar, that is the chemical in psychedelic mushrooms that causes hallucinations. But prosecutors also argued that marijuana alone did not explain what happened.
Yes,
in
arguably
fact,
enough.
Not only that, they argued in a way that you wouldn't suspect. They argued that, according to her social media, she's very experienced with driving high, and she wouldn't have done this. No joke, dude. That was literally their argument.
They were like, "Nah, man.
Look
is
here,
a pro.
Look. She's smoking a blunt, driving right here. She's like, what the hell? That's literally what they pointed to.
I would love to be that defense attorney being like, "No, man, she was a pro. Look at this."
I mean, weed is legal in Ohio right now, though.
She's posting some Instagram, Snapchat stories while she is just ripping a blunt while she's driving down the interstate. I feel like this bitch knows how to drive.
Yeah,
and
they
I
were
feel
like,
this wasn't the problem.
They were like, THC in her system is not an excuse.
No,
she's done it plenty of times. There you go.
I want that to be in my court case one day. Need to put a dash cam in my car.
I don't think you want this kind of smoke, Andy.
THC was in his system.
Like,
but he's a pro.
You got to think they're using another crime as a defense. That's how bad this is. That's how bad this is. You don't want to be in this situation, Andy.
They're using 2 other dead bodies to justify them.
Jesus.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but police found more than 100 videos on her profiles of showing her driving while either distracted, looking at the camera, recording herself, and smoking weed in her car. And, her lawyers also argued that marijuana, or prosecutors argued that marijuana slows people down typically. Like who smokes a joint and wants to go drive 100 miles an hour?
Not me.
Nah, man.
Nah, I don't want to feel. I've already felt enough from that joint. I don't need to feel alive right now.
No, I'm good.
I'm feeling chill right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling chill. But the defense, they believe something else caused the crash. They believe that Mackenzie had a medical episode behind the wheel because her parents now are conveniently coming out with this, that said that she suffers from a condition called POTS, or POTS.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm familiar with POTS.
Yeah. It's a postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Mm-hmm. I actually have a friend who does legitimately have POTS. So yes.
Does he have a driver's license, or she?
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. But it can cause dizziness, fainting, fast heartbeat, and sometimes brief blackouts. Has your friend experienced this?
Not blackouts, but
not
yes.
blackouts. Okay. So it depends on how bad it is, I bet. Mm-hmm. So the defense argued Mackenzie blacked out while driving and must have lost consciousness in the seconds before the crash.
But see, when a blackout occurs, and this is just my idea, not a medical professional.
Right.
When you black out, normally your muscles relax. Your muscles don't engage. And
right, it's different than like a seizure.
Yeah, like if she had a seizure, I would expect her leg to lock out and hit that gas pedal down.
Right.
If she blacked out, you would almost expect the muscles to relax, to let go, to just droop.
No doubt.
So it's one of those things. Like, a blackout usually just means that your muscles are going to relax.
Right. So, but here's the thing, Andy. If you have the potential to black out, should you have a driver's license? How high does the potential have to be?
Yeah, that's a good point. How high does the potential have to be?
Because if it can happen, is it worth someone's life? I mean, there's no good time to black out behind the wheel.
No, but to be fair, anybody can black out behind the wheel. Anybody can have an episode where they lose consciousness behind the wheel. Something can happen. And yes, the odds are always more increased if you have underlying conditions. Like if she had POTS, if she has something, then yes, the likelihood is increased.
Right.
So where does the threshold then become of like,
exactly.
if you have this condition, if you have this, when does it become like you shouldn't drive?
And also, look, I think it's one of those things that kind of would govern itself because you think about it. You're going to get your license and you're like, I've already blacked out like 3 times in 6 months. Like, do I really want to get on the road?
Right.
You know, I think self-preservation would kick in at some point. Now, I understand we're dealing with teenagers.
Yes.
We're dealing with teenagers who just graduated high school. They just got their license, right? License or everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
I want that freedom.
But apparently Mackenzie wasn't afraid of that in regards to her condition or any other sense, because when she got her license in 2021, she actually filled out paperwork saying that she didn't have any condition that could cause blackouts or make her lose control of her body in any way. We all have to say that.
Yeah, you want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ideal. We need to make sure anybody. But she also said she didn't have any physical or mental condition that would make her unsafe to drive. What's crazy is after the crash in October of 2022, she applied for another license, and she answered the questions the same way again.
Really?
Yes.
Still just being like,
even though that was your defense.
If that's your defense, I'm
you
going
gotta
back
buy
to
into it. You got to be like, nah, I'm a blacking out bitch.
Yeah, I'd be like, I
black out. That's what I do. I black out.
I want to drive, but I'm not safe
I can't. I black out. I know that now, and I suffered for Like you gotta be at 110%.
You gotta commit.
Nah. So at the same time, though, text messages, they revealed that Mackenzie was telling Dominic's mother that she couldn't remember the crash at all, right? And that's what she's always said. That's what she's saying to everybody. I don't understand how the defense can take these text messages and be like, see, she's being honest. She said this in private. Yeah, to Dominic's mom.
Yeah, over a text message.
That means nothing.
Where she wanted a paper trail.
Number one person that's going to get bullshitted, Dominic's mom.
Or
especially
Devon's
by Mackenzie.
Mom. Yeah, either one of the victim's parents.
Exactly. The victims' families in general.
So, and she's sending a text message, like I said, that's going to have a paper trail so that they could pull this up later and say, like, look how she felt.
Yeah, she said, quote, I remember turning onto the street and then my vision fades to black. It really kills me not to be able to remember anything.
It really kills me. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Mm-hmm. It really killed them, actually, for you not to remember anything. But still.
Right. Now, the defense also tried to point to her blood oxygen level after the crash, which was very low. But these kids were trapped in the car for 45 minutes before they were pulled out, okay? Let alone had their vitals checked.
Yeah.
So probably 50 minutes to an hour before they have their vitals checked, yeah, they're going to have low oxygen levels in their blood. That just makes sense, dude.
I'll never forget, I knew a guy who wrecked a car one time, clearly drunk, and he wrecked it so bad in kind of a deserted area that he wasn't found until the morning by a passerby or something like that.
Right.
And so when the cops were actually called, he was trapped in the car all night. So when the cops were called and they finally got him out of there, they did a toxicology report. And they were like, "Yeah, your blood alcohol content's fine." It's like, yeah, because he's been trapped in the car for 8 hours.
Yeah, he's sobered up.
Yeah, he's
ain't nothing gonna sober you up like that.
He's been bleeding out in the car.
Like, you don't have much alcohol in your blood. I don't have much blood.
I don't have much blood left. Okay, let's.
But yeah, so yeah, this is. So was it an accident, right? Was she unconscious? Blah, blah, blah. They really had no concrete way of determining that until they revisited the black box data. Mm-hmm. It's the savior in this case.
It really is.
And the data said that the car there was a slight curve at the end of Progress Drive, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty significant curve. Look at it on a map. As it's coming to that T intersection, there's a very slight curve. And there's just no way a car would make that curve on its own doing almost 100 miles an hour.
If the driver was incapacitated.
And there's no way that the passenger would reach over and just make that perfect little curve. And also, why would they?
Yeah, why would they?
So the car did that at an extremely high speed, like I said, plus 90 miles per hour. And someone who was blacked out, there's just no way. There's no way you're steering the car at nearly 100 miles per hour. This officer talked about he was doing not even 60 on that road, and he's like white knuckling it with two hands.
He's shaking and feeling like he should not go faster than this. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, and if you're, like I said earlier, if you're blacked out, your muscles are relaxed.
Yep.
They are not engaged. They aren't locked in. They aren't activated.
Exactly.
So it's another thing. It's like, did you black out? Okay, then you should be loose.
Yep.
So...
And then when investigators looked at the CCTV footage, and then they compared what the black box was saying, it just lines up perfect. You can see where the car accelerates. It matches up with the timestamp of the black box. Everything going around the curve. Mm-hmm. Everything lines up perfect. But prosecutors also said that Mackenzie had been in that area before the crash. So they checked her cell phone data, and 3 days earlier, she had been in that area where she didn't frequent.
Yeah. Okay.
So some people say, like, maybe she was scouting that area out, looking for a place to crash the car. Maybe she planned all this. But the defense pushed back, and they said, well, cell phone data only gives a rough location, which is true.
At that time, yeah. This is not too
It depends
far
how important the case is, and we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't fuck with us. Like, we know. If you really want to pinpoint somebody, they're in their damn living room.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not play. But they argued that prosecutors were reading too much into the cell phone data. But they also focused on the route Mackenzie took that morning. You see, earlier that night, Mackenzie, Dominic, and Davion had gone to a few different graduation parties together, kind of house hopping.
Yeah.
And then around 5:30 that morning, the three got into Mackenzie's Camry to head home. Dominic was in the front seat. Davion was in the back. Prosecutors argued the route that Mackenzie took just didn't make any sense if she was going straight home. It was different from the route that she had taken there, and also going down Progress Drive was way slower and out of the way. Mm-hmm. It just didn't make any sense. So at the time of the crash, Mackenzie had just graduated from high school. She and Dominic Russo had been together for about 4 years. But according to people around them, the relationship had gotten a little rocky in the months before the crash. Dominic's mother said that there was a lot of arguments. They would break up and get back together. There was a lot of threats, both from Dominic and Mackenzie. So, she also claimed Mackenzie had become very possessive of Dominic. And after Dominic died, video came out where Mackenzie could allegedly be heard threatening to force her way into Dominic's house.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. And then there was another recording where she was heard saying, "I'm going to wreck this car right now." And this was through Dominic's phone. He was in the car with her at the time, and apparently the situation upset him enough that he had called his mother and was trying to get another ride home.
Yeah, it's a bad situation when a man calls his mama to be like, "Mom, I need you to come pick me up. Right. This bitch is crazy."
And he's older than her too.
Yeah, it's like, this bitch is crazy. I need help.
But of course, there's two sides to every story than the truth, right? But of course, Mackenzie's family argued the relationship problems, they went both ways. But the night before the crash, Mackenzie and Dominic didn't seem to be fighting at all. People said they looked really happy together. And then there was Davion Flanagan. He had once been a really talented football player. Apparently he had a promising future, but somewhere near the end of his senior year, he got hurt pretty bad, and it basically ended his football career. Mm-hmm. So people close to Davion said that loss hit him hard, and eventually it led him to experimenting with different drugs, spending more time around people like Mackenzie and Dominic. So they were kind of new friends in a way.
Saying they're more like the
in the documentary, one of Davion's friends that he used to hang out with, I guess, before Dominic, and maybe he still did at the time, he speaks out a lot in the documentary.
Really?
So you get to know a lot more about Davion. Mm-hmm. But the three of them got into the car around 5:30 that morning, and the crash happened just 6 minutes later. Nobody really knows what happened inside the car in those final minutes. Of course, Mackenzie still can't remember anything, but during the trial, prosecutors focused heavily on her relationship with Dominic. They pointed out social media videos that showed her acting with very little remorse after the crash. Some videos showed her talking about a clothing brand deal and going out partying not long after Dominic and Davion's funerals. And which is interesting is Dominic was interested in clothes and fashion as well, and had some of his friends talked about how he was talking about being on the verge of a clothing deal.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd, right?
It is weird to see, like, shortly after the crash, her talking about, like, kind of like, I want to say future plans and, monetary plans. Like, she's trying to make money. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a very emotional thing that just happened, and there's videos of you shortly after that talking about how you can profit off of it. Exactly. And that never looks good. So,
I think that is the one thing that her I don't want to speak bad about Dominic. It seems like that's the one thing him and her kind of had in common. Mm-hmm. They were both kind of obsessed with being entrepreneurs in whatever way, at whatever cost.
Makes sense.
They had a digital scale in the car. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can put the pieces together. But and then of course, Mackenzie's mom and Mackenzie, they both came out later talking about how Dominic would use her. He would, have her store drugs at her house because she was a minor and she couldn't get in trouble and this and that. And so they say that he used her that way. Mm-hmm. There's, like I said, two sides to every story, right?
Yeah.
And of course, social media only shows tiny pieces of people's lives.
Of course.
It really does, especially a teenager.
Oh yeah.
I mean, gosh, you're getting the bare surface polished. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting anything deep.
I would almost say maybe not even a teenager. Maybe like I would judge maybe like a millennial, because a millennial is really more about they're only going to post the positive things on social media. Teenagers will post those weird stories on Instagram, or those posts that are just like cries for help, or those posts that are just like, I want attention, please talk to me. Like, teenagers have that melodramatic aura to them that they can do sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's almost like that millennial aspect of it instead of the teenager thing. So
right. Well, even though Mackenzie was a teenager, she was still tried as an adult, and she was only 17 at the time. And instead of letting a jury decide the case, she chose a bench trial, meaning the judge alone would decide the case.
You know what? That's never really a good idea. Let's just I could have like multiple strangers decide this, or I could have one guy. Fuck, I'm going to go with the multiple strangers every time. I'm going to go with the group of strangers.
Yeah. Because one of them, you only need one
that needs to all agree.
I wonder whose advice that was.
Right.
Why would you give her that advice? That doesn't make any sense. I guess she figured, well, if I can just win over this one guy.
I can just convince this judge, that's all I have to do.
Yeah. But her defense basically argued that there was too much uncertainty to prove that this crash was intentional. They said nobody could truly know what happened inside the car in the final seconds before the crash. But the judge, he disagreed.
Yeah.
He disagreed wholeheartedly.
I feel like one person can. She's right over there.
Yeah. The judge said Mackenzie went from being a normal driver to literal hell on wheels. The judge also said Mackenzie alone chose the route, she chose the timing, and she chose to drive into an area where there were hardly any people, especially around the time they were there. Mm-hmm. And, there would be no one to help afterwards.
This wasn't a busy intersection where cars are going to be passing all the time.
No.
Someone's going to call 911 immediately.
No, they sat there pinned in the car unconscious for hours. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, the judge concluded that Mackenzie intentionally chose death for herself, Dominic, and Davion. She was convicted on all 12 felony counts against her.
Damn.
For some reason, it included 4 counts of murder.
Really? 4
What are
counts?
the 4 counts, right? That's weird. 4 counts of felonious assault. 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide. There were some drug possession charges, possessing criminal tools because the car was considered a tool. And in the end, Mackenzie Shirilla was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years. But she still insists she's innocent. Her first appeal was denied in 2024, then again in 2026. A second appeal was also denied after the court ruled it had been filed too late. That was in 2026. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. So to put the timeline in perspective, the crash happened in 2022. She's convicted in 2023.
And she's already trying to get overturned by 2024.
Absolutely. And this Netflix documentary has brought attention back to her case, right? So where is everyone now, right? Well, Mackenzie's parents, they faced a lot of backlash since the Netflix documentary came out. According to reports, her father, who used to be an art teacher, was placed on administrative leave over concerns about his poor judgment. Because in the documentary, he said that he didn't see any issue with his teenage daughter smoking weed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the school was like, whoa, we see an issue with that. So you're out of here.
Moral grounds.
I mean, just my opinion, her parents are hella enablers.
Yeah.
There are tons of phone audio footage of Mackenzie talking to her parents from prison. I link that video as well below. Guys, you don't have to listen to much of it. I use some in the intro. It's appalling.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about Mackenzie, and if you didn't think she was at fault here and didn't think that she was absolutely narcissistic and thought that she was going to completely get away with it or just be dead and be immortalized or some shit, who knows?
Yeah, it's that we've talked
you
about
get the delusion.
We've talked about it so many times on this show of the idea of a teenager's world being so small. They do not understand the gravitas or the real reach of some of their actions and what some of their things can do long term.
But yeah, her parents still believe she's innocent. And the documentary, like I said, it plays heavily in her favor. And I think that's the only way to do it, right? It's like she's already been convicted. Why would you put out a documentary that just talks about how she definitely did it?
Yeah.
So naturally, the documentary has to play devil's advocate, right? And I guess there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways they can, and they did. But let's talk a little bit about Dominic and Russo. Dominic and Davion. I'm sorry. Dominic Russo was the youngest of 7 kids, and him and his family were very close. His death completely devastated his family. There's body cam footage of his mother being told for the first time, and she just probably brought me to tears. Mm-hmm. She just absolutely loses it. She's inconsolable. It's like she already knew what they were going to say when they said that he was with her. Is just, but for the most part, his family has stayed out of the spotlight as much as they can. Other than Dominic's father and sister. Now, they did both appear in the documentary, and afterward it became very clear that they were not happy with how the documentary turned out. Dominic's sister thought it focused way too much on interviews with Mackenzie's friends and all the people who were defending her. Mm-hmm. And she later started her own podcast called The Big Sister Unhinged, where she says she wants to help keep her brother's story alive and also give voice to other families dealing with tragedy and violent loss. But Mackenzie is currently serving her sentence at the Ohio Reform Women's Prison in Marysville, Ohio. According to her father, she spends a lot of time painting, And her mother said she keeps a daily journal. Reportedly, on every single page, she writes, "The truth will set me free."
I mean, I hope that's not the only thing you write, because that sounds like a crazy person.
Yeah, right.
Just
writes
bunch
it
of,
over and over again.
Over and over. No work and no play makes Jack a double. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But like I said, Mackenzie still talks with her parents regularly. There was a former inmate that claimed that Mackenzie had become somewhat well-known inside of prison, and she was like, treating it like it was still high school. She seemed like she was like a popular girl in high school more than serving a prison sentence.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But she has another chance of parole in September of 2037.
Ooh, 37?
37. Cool.
Yeah.
So another 11 years from now. So yeah, good luck with that, Mackenzie.
I could see, like you said, like she kind of views it as like as another version of high school. Her brain never really got over that teenage smallness.
And she still thinks she's so special. Like I said, if you just listen to those phone calls, there's one time in particular where she's telling her mom, she's like, "I just feel like my case is just going to be one of those like pivotal true crime cases. Like a lot of things are going to change because of my case. Like people are going to, it's going to be one of those important cases."
God, that sounds...
And her parents just they agree with everything she says.
Like, yeah, honey,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
are.
You've always been a mover and a shaker, honey.
Like,
I'm like, oh my Lord.
If you think that
y'all enabling a fucking monster.
If you think that immediately after you've committed double homicide, basically, that even if it's vehicular, even if it's manslaughter, whatever, if you think that your case is going to change the legal, prefaces going forward,
right?
That your case is going to shock the country. It's like, you better have something fucking magical attached to it.
Yeah. No, she just is magical. Andy.
Yeah,
Don't you
better. There is nothing about a teenager killing two of their friends in a drunken car crash.
She wasn't drunk.
I'm just saying, like, there's nothing about that's going to change the face of the country. It's going to change the face of true crime or to change the legality. Like,
no,
you're not.
That's her delusion, though.
Yeah, you think that you're that special when you're not. There's nothing unique about it. And for her, like I said, it's just that teenage ignorance, man. And it really is. You see so much of it in this case, which is just, it's really sad because you do not know why this girl did this. And her excuse is, "I don't remember." And it's like, really? Because you weren't drunk.
Yeah.
Why don't you remember?
Doesn't make any sense. You turn a corner, floor it, and you don't remember none of that down that super long stretch of highway.
Yeah, you floor
of road right
for
there.
A bit.
Yeah. You had a good multiple seconds to think and go through your mind. No, it's absolutely on purpose.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Something was going on there that we will never know until the one survivor decides to tell us the truth.
Yeah. Well, she can't do that. But she should, because it'll set her free, right?
I mean, she can. She can. It won't really do anything for her case now.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you what, do something for your case. Some nice natural deodorant.
That'll help you regardless of your case.
It can't hurt, Andy.
It can't hurt, but it can help.
It can help. It always can. And we can hook you up with some at Oh My Gaia. Oh My Gaia is an innovative all-natural deodorant, fragrance, and beard oil company specializing in paraben and aluminum-free products. And guys, there's tons of scents to choose from at ohmygaia.com. That's OHMYGAIA.com. You can also check them out on Instagram at shop_ohmygaia. And because you're True Crime Guys listeners, you can use the code word Crimepine for 15% off your order. That's Crimepine, CRIMEPINE, no spaces, for 15% off your order. Guys, there's tons of scents to choose from. Like I said, a great place to start is old True Crime Pine, because you're True Crime listeners.
It really is.
I mean, come on, guys.
Unisex, uniseason.
Get real, guys.
Works.
It works. Again, guys, that's ohmygaia.com. There is a link right below the description of this episode, as well as a link to Patreon. Patreon.com/truecrimeguys, where you can get access to these episodes early, ad-free, with bonus content. What did we talk about today, Andy? What did we talk about for 30 minutes?
God, if I know.
Jesus, I wish I could remember. Feels like a lifetime ago.
That was early. That's old shit, man. We talk about new shit.
Early studio stuff.
That's old shit.
Anyways, guys, check it out. It's at the end of this if you're on Patreon. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks. Make sure you subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to. Leave us a 5-star review. We appreciate that very, very much. Check out truecrimeguys.com. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. We're on the book face. We're on the gram. We're on everything. We're on Threads, for Christ's sakes.
We are.
We're on Threads because it automatically posts.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, all right, guys. We'll see you next week with another True Crime Guys case. Until then, I guess you have to keep on creeping.
Bye.
With the new MyLowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. They make it super simple. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with coverage options tailored to your choices. Plus, you'll see which discounts you may qualify for, like the online quote discount or savings for paying in full. In fact, 99% of Progressive Auto customers earn at least one discount. See if you could save when you switch to Progressive. You'll feel good about making a savvy choice. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little extra cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.